Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. How's your week going?
It's going good. Today, I got a great topic.
Excellent. Everyone loves great topics.
Yeah, this one's good. And this one is actually applicable in your life, not just in your local SEO life.
Okay.
All right. This is what I have seen so many times, and I'm sure you have in your line of work, is that paralysis by analysis. When you get too many options, too many proposals, what happens? Well, the person usually freezes, and then they make the decision to hold off on making a decision.
Yeah.
And they plan to, in quotes, revisit this at another time. And what that means is, okay, I just don't know how to make a decision. So this is a podcast for those business owners who are in that position. I thought I would go through my quick strategy on how to decide and come to a decision that you're going to be happy with. Okay?
Sounds good. And boy, do I have a lot of opinions on this one.
Oh, yeah. Jamie.
I'll keep my big mouth shut.
No, I will hear your opinions. But first, when you get those proposals, all right, so you've gone through the trouble of getting 5 proposals from different marketing agencies, right? You want to decide on your top 3 to 5 factors that are the most important to you. So if you're looking at an online marketing or digital marketing agency, something like, is it important for you that they have a good reputation, that they can provide results or examples of past results? Are they experts in what they do, what they say they do? What kind of strategy they recommend for your business? Do they work well within your budget? Are they good with communicating with you? Those are all different factors. And when you're deciding, you can kind of think in your head and write down what are the top 3 or 4 or 5 different things that are the most important for you in your situation. Then, once you do that, you can assign a score to each proposal that you've received for each one of those factors. So give it 1 to 5. This is a 5 is awesome, 1 is not awesome. And then that way, that will allow you to kind of objectively choose. Now, so far so good, Jamie?
Yeah. It's just, I wish that's how things would work.
All right. You do that, then that'll allow you to choose like the top 3 proposals that align with your goals. And then the reason we do that is because first it makes you prioritize yourself for your business. What's the most important for you? If you don't care about communication, throw that one away. But if you do care about communication, then include that. That's a great, if that's super important, that when you email or text or call, who are you speaking to? Who's returning that call? How soon they're talking to you and answering your question? Do they, is it their modus operandi is to never answer your call or to tell you, I'll get back to you in a couple days? That's indicative of how they will treat you as a client. So if that's super important, then give that a big value. All right. And then you can rate each one of those proposals and each one of those interactions with that agency. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So now you've chosen those top 3 proposals, and now it's time to ask your follow-up question. And then those follow-up questions can be all about, those factors that are your deciding point. What's your strategy for me? Hey, how come you don't have any 5-star reviews on Google? Hey, how can you do this for my company when you don't do it for your company? That's a really big question. If you have checked out each one of those companies, that's probably one. If they don't have 5-star reviews, if they don't do what they are doing, they're saying to do for your company, they're not doing it for their own, then how can they even be in your top 3? I don't get it. But anyway, hopefully you get it as a client or prospective client, that should be indicative of some company that you shouldn't be choosing, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if also you have a gut feeling when you're talking to whoever, they're very salesy, whatever, or if they call you bro a lot, those kind of things. If that gives you a weird gut feeling, then you should give more weight to that gut feeling, right? Because you're going to be the one in this position of who's going to have to defend this decision with going with that agency. And if your bro dude doesn't answer calls, then you went with the wrong agency, right? All right. So that's a big thing I think you should consider is their communication style, their culture. You can ask them if they'll agree to a trial period. You have to gauge their expertise. All right. So how do you gauge their expertise, Jamie, in this world, in this online ranking world, this organic SEO world? How do you think we can gauge someone's expertise?
Well, first, if they listen to Local SEO in 10.
Boom. Good one. Anything else?
Survey says 1 million.
Yeah, that's the top answer. How'd you get that?
Well, I would also see if you know anyone that's actually used them.
Oh, and that's a good one.
Yeah, a personal recommendation of someone that you have some relationship with. Obviously you can ask them for customer references, but it could be their Uncle Bob or somebody else. So it's hard to trust those references. But if if you can do some research on whoever they're referring you, are they on LinkedIn? Or do they actually have a real company? And what was their was it worth it for them to would they hire them again, type of thing? So
sure. I like to for us in my industry, we want to look at, do they have a Google business profile? All right there, for some reason I've lost count of how many agencies that don't. That's shocking because it's so integral to ranking locally or just ranking anything for a business. Look at their reviews. Make sure that their reviews are not looking strange, meaning the names are real sounding names. The reviews aren't about the online agency's produce section. These kind of things are indicative of course, the agency purchased reviews. So take those reviews and read them. Read the first 5. Go back in time and read the first 5, and you might see a strange pattern. Especially if those reviews have been purchased. A lot of times they're written by an AI, and you can kind of tell. So the other thing you can look at is those reviews across a number of sites. Jamie's a big believer, I think, in reviews on as many different platforms as possible. Kind of gives you a holistic picture of that agency. Do they have clients who actually have used them? So that's very, very important. Then you can also look at their Facebook and Instagram, their social media presence. In my industry, we are using social media just as a proof, a reputation marker. So do they have it? Was their last post in 2019 when they started it and then abandoned it? That kind of thing is a big red flag. So make sure that, when you're talking to the dude bro on the other end of the phone, and you can ask them, hey, why, what are you guys doing for your ranking? Are you using social media? Are you writing great content? Are you producing something that shows you're an expert in this field? So those kind of questions they should be able to answer. And if they can't, then you should really, really, note that. Because if they're not an expert, but they are portraying themselves as an expert, they should have those, I know you're not going to like this term, they should have those thought leader kind of presence on the internet that shows they are an expert in this industry. And if they're not, then you should be able to really knock down their pricing and understand that they're not most likely going to give you results that you can count on.
Yeah, I think that.
I've lost count of the number of agencies that I've seen, just because clients come to us and they say, hey, take a look at our online presence. This is what this agency did. And we can go a lot more deeper in detail because we pay for a lot of tools. But you as the listener, this is what I've found, is that if an agency isn't doing the work for themselves, then they're not doing it for their clients. And that is a massive red flag. So just understand, if you are going through proposals, you have 5 or 7 proposals, you've talked to all these people, you spent a lot of time and energy into this. Great way to do that is decide the factors that are important to you, give each agency a number for each one of those factors, and then that'll help guide your decision. And it'll help weed out the ones that are just a no-go.
That makes sense. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Any other questions, comments, concerns, Jamie?
Oh boy, I don't have another 10 minutes, but it's the main one when you're selecting a company, I do think, is their reputation, because that takes years and years to build.
Yep.
And generally 1 or 2 clients can tank a reputation. So that means the company has to really be on their toes with every client. The other big one, if they have a separate technical support line, or you're just calling the main line, I would call into that tech support and see how long it takes for someone to get back to you. Or if there is no phone number, is there somebody on the online chat that is not an AI? So those would be good, because chances are you probably will need to speak to that person down the road. And if there is no person, or it takes 2.5 hours to reach someone, then that's no fun.
That is no fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
those are all good ones. Good job, Jamie.
Good. All right. Well, million more. Ooh, you should write a book.
Million more.
Yeah. Yep. But we get that in my industry too. I talked to someone who has 15 proposals.
Oh my God.
Checked in with them today, and they said, yeah, it was just too confusing. So we did just what Adam just said. And we're just going to put it off till the new year and see how it goes. So,
yep.
Wow, that's 15 companies, 15, and a lot of them are in-home appointments. So it's 15 people minimum, right? And then 15 back and forth. That must be 1,000 emails and phone calls, text messages, all amounting to 0. So
oh my God,
wasted 15 people, at least. Anyway, it's just, I don't understand.
I know, Jamie touched a nerve with this one. I knew it.
Not easy.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. So with that, we will wrap it up, and we will talk to you next week with another topic that Adam will either come up with, or if you have a question on this topic or any other topic in search engine optimization, send us a message on LinkedIn or our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10. Go ahead and send them the question, comment. But even before that, you can go to our website, magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast button. And if you enter that search term in there, chances are it will be, there's at least 1 or 2 podcasts. But then reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you can give us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this, we would appreciate it. Definitely helps our ranking and lets the people, the business owners especially, know that this is a real podcast and not a time waster podcast. So we do appreciate it. Thank you, Adam, for all of your time, effort, energy, and knowledge. And we will talk to you next week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.